Hello everybody, this is Mr. Gaston here, and welcome to the second vlogcast. Last time we went to Ulgham Grange, and before we start, let me take a look what Garfield got for his present, and that is Gnome Gnat. Okay guys, let's take a look at the first Gnome Gnat comic strip. Here goes.
Hi there, my name is Freddy the Fruit Fly. The lifespan of a fruit fly is about 1 week. I'd like to stop and chat, but I really haven't the time.
1 week, huh? That's too bad.
Oh, it has advantages. The divorce rate is pretty low.
And that was the first Gnome Gnat comic strip. Now let's get started. It all started with Captain Loud and his father. They're walking again for another particle walk, and today's another walk for both. They'll be going out to Ulgham Woods. A particle time for a particle sight. One of the days cannot be seen anywhere you can see now. Turning that way is partly possible. When you just go that way, you'll be able to go see what we just got today. But then you can see the particle time to see back out there before. But okay then, the house is named Garden Cottage. You know what Garden Cottage is? It's the first cottage in the house, but it's possibly be the other one, which also had its name Ulgham Grange by the name. That's possibly, but okay then. But this way, where we ever went before, is this way. We don't know what that way is, but it just totally has a dead end. And to the fact we will not be allowed to go that way is likely because this road is exactly private, as you can see right there. Yeah, go on to Seaville. Yeah, yeah, I know this is why it is private. Why? I don't know why it is likely to be private, because the sign says it's private here. But then we walked down to the woods. But then suddenly they went that way to Seaville. But then they went up the hill. It all started like this. Totally like this to Seaville, like this now. Now yes, here goes. At Ulgham Woods. Then up to the top. So he just found something. Captain Loud and his father walked for acorns and sticks. But walk out. The dog is on the lead, so be careful. But this is the way to go. But then he sits on his bench just right. He came back up after the exit is done. But then his father and his son went this way. Because roads are completely dangerous, so they went back that way to catch home. But then when they suddenly went home from it, totally that part of out things to see for what to say, just have no lie at all. But then went up again. Okay. Then they went up again. But the time was too early, so he had to rush in by going out to Ulgham Grange. Suddenly, he went this way. But look at that, he went out to Ulgham Grange already. Well guys, he's out to Ulgham Grange. Then watch the trains, and then comes back again. And there he goes, the train was coming on time, and it wasn't there in the yard. And the barriers go up again. But then they both went back on its way home. They went back on its way home. Right in the time. But then they walked slowly back home from Toot Hill. Until then was the time they went back home. They went back home to get some tea. Yummy tea. Part of all time, we're possibly part time to see out time to see outdated stuff, but normal outdated stuff indeed. Until then, they went both back home and have a nice day out. And that was the end of the vlogcast. Anyways, thank you for listening to the vlogcast. We'll see you on Monday. Again. Yeah, I'll do this on Monday. I'll make a reminder on Monday. So anyway, I'll see you on Monday, guys. So until then, goodbye.